What is up, you guys? Welcome to the lounge. Glad to be here. Hope everybody's doing good, having a good day. Had a good weekend. Hope everything's going good for you in your life right now. And if not, hey, it's time to get some smiles on that face. Time to look at the positive things in life, not the negative things, because as you know, and I know, and everybody else knows, when we think about the negative, it only brings us down. And we get nowhere when we're down, right? So here I am. I don't know what kind of crowd's going to be in here tonight. I'm not sure, what the views are going to be like. But I like to try to stay on track with, my speeches and, to try to help people stay positive and, give them motivation and inspiration and all that stuff. So here I am. Here I be. I'm actually probably going to set my camera down if possible. I've got another stand. I made another one of these. I made one before and sent it out to a YouTuber. Actually, Bubba Boo, you have one of these. You have one that I made for you, if you remember. And I don't know if she still uses it, but comes in handy to have something to put your phone on while you're doing different things. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try to get this put on this stand. This is actually another homemade thing because this little stand here, the bottom part came with my GoPro, and the top piece came with the selfie stick. So we want a selfie stick that can selfie stand, right? So let me get this set here. Sorry, the phone's gonna be kind of moving, kind of weird for a minute. But I don't want to hit the wrong button, so bear with me. Okay, I've got that part done, taken care of, and let's see here. All right. And I'm really, I do pay attention to you guys that are in here, but I'm not going to let the fact if I've got 5 people hanging with us right now or 0 people and this just came off the thing. Why did it do that? Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Let me fix this because it came off the, and I know why. It's missing there's a rubber piece that's actually supposed to be on that, and I don't know what happened to it. So try to get that to stay there. Stay like a good little stand. Okay. Move stuff to the side here. Actually I can move this down once I get my stand where I need it. I need my stand to be like this. Bring this here so that I can, okay. No, come on now. There we go. Hopefully you guys can, no, don't move on me. Stay right there. Okay, so I've got that set up. And I do want to make sure, okay, hopefully this does not fall over on me and it'll stay like that. I'm going to throw on some headphones here and then I'm going to get started talking about exactly what I said I was going to talk about, getting rid of the negative things in our life. And I do the same thing. When I catch myself around things that are negative or if I'm put into a negative position, okay, here we go. I just want to make sure I had that right. And I do. Um, okay. Yep, we're good. There we go. We're going to get started here 1 second, guys. I've got one of them clicky keyboards too. I know it's kind of loud. So let's, if you can, before we get started, if you just joined, do me a favor and tweet this out, if you will, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Come on. Technology sometimes likes to go at its own pace. Come on. I don't know why it did that. Give me 1 second, guys, and we will get started here. What is it doing? Come on. Okay. Come on. Okay, there we go. We can get started. I apologize for the delay. I do. And I can take these headphones off my head. So, getting rid of the negative things that are in our life, staying away from the negative things that are in our life. Sometimes that is not an easy thing to do, right? Sometimes it's easier said than done. And, you know, I understand that. I do. I totally get it. You know, sometimes we're stuck in a situation where we might live with someone that, you know, has friends that we don't care for or associate with. So it kind of automatically puts you in that situation. Or maybe you're out and about with somebody. Hey, Brandy, thanks for joining us. I don't know how popular this hangout's going to be tonight, but I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, you know, I like to give people something positive whenever I do a video. That's one of my goals, is to always be able to leave the stream and leave something positive behind. And so, you know, I was just saying how sometimes it's not easy to get out of a negative situation when we're stuck. Maybe you got a roommate and you got to hang around people that you don't really care about, you know, so much that you don't want to hang around, but you kind of don't have a choice. And so that makes it difficult, but there's still options that you would have to where, you know, if you don't like somebody and you don't want to be around somebody, then just separate yourself from those people. Even if you live in the same house and they got company over that you don't care for, that do things you don't approve of or appreciate, just find a different place to be. You know, go to a different room, go outside, you know, read a book, listen to music. Just find something that is positive for you, not for them. It doesn't matter. You know, if they say, well, that's not no fun. Why are you doing that for? Well, if it is something that gives you, you know, positivity, then do it. It doesn't matter what other people think or what they say. I've been in that boat before. I've been where I've had to live with people that I didn't care for so much. And, you know, when I was 19, I lived with a couple people, and all they did was drink every single weekend. Every weekend. And I didn't like it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm some innocent person where I never drank in my life, because I did. I mean, go back and listen. Go back and listen to, you know, my story. Growing up blind and stuff. I had my share of, drinking for sure. Sorry, I'm just trying. I know the camera's all over the place right now, but I'm trying to adjust it so that I can. There we go. Brandy, is that good? Am I too close up on the camera, or is that? Well, hold on. Let me fix it. Okay, let's say right there, Brandy. Is that good like that? And guys, I apologize. I'm just trying to get my camera to stay where you guys can see me okay. Hopefully, the way I've got it now, like this, is okay. I hope. Okay, good deal. Um, so when I was 19, I lived with some people, and that's all they did. They drank, they drank, they drank, they partied. And guys, I'm not talking about every weekend. I'm talking like every other day somebody was drinking in that house. And if they wasn't drinking, they was smoking. If they wasn't smoking, it was always something. And you know, it played, it had an impact in my life because it always put me in a bad mood. And I didn't like to be in a bad mood. I didn't like to be negative. I've never enjoyed being negative ever in my life. But obviously, the first half of my life I was, because I wasn't accepting being blind and all this stuff. And I was completely in the middle of a negative environment. Everywhere I went was nothing but negative things around me. And 70% of it was my fault because I didn't get myself out of that situation. But there's a lot more to it. Like I said, you would have to go back and listen to my story growing up blind and all that, and then maybe you'd understand a little more. But if you want to be happy in your life, you have to draw a line. You've got to say, I don't want to be unhappy anymore. I don't want to be mad no more. I don't want to be angry no more. I don't want to be upset no more. I want to be happy. I want to be in a position in my life where I'm smiling instead of frowning, and I'm laughing instead of crying, and I'm speaking instead of screaming, right? I'm going to set down my little ear thing here. Well, actually, I'll just take you with me. Forget it. I'll just take you with me because I don't want you to have to look at the back of my chair, right? Um, so you got to come to a point in your life to where you say, you know what, I'm done with this, and come on, come on, and you make that change in your life, right? You've got to make it, and it's so easy. Check this out. Check this out. It's so easy for us to blame somebody else for things that's going wrong in our life. It's so easy for us to blame somebody else. Now, as you've seen, I'm saying, hey, you're around negative people, but I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying that it's their fault. I'm actually saying that it's your fault because you have to do something about that. You've got to do something about it, not anyone else. If you're unhappy in your life, you got to do something about that. And you got to say, I'm tired of this. You deserve to have a beautiful life. You deserve to smile and laugh and be free. So I guess one of my questions to you, if you're going through these things right now, is this: how much freedom do you feel that you have in your life right now? Right? Because you're in full control of that. But that will never change until you accept where you are right now. You got to accept that and say, this is where I'm at. Okay, I'm not happy, but this is where I'm at. And then once you accept that, you're going to start looking at, what do I got to do to get away from it? Right? So maybe you got to go out and get a job and get your own place. Maybe you got to change the people you're hanging around with. You know, I'm not making millions on the internet, that's for sure. Okay? But my life, as far as what I do online with marketing and all that stuff, none of that stuff started going good for me until I started putting myself around positive people that did the same thing. So maybe you're in that situation. Maybe you're trying to make a change in your life where you can start to have the things that you want in your life, right? You start putting yourself around positive people. And that's what I did. I started communicating with people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And I'm learning. I'm learning from them what I got to do the same thing that they're doing. It's no secret. Happiness is not a secret. And it's not it's not something where only some people can have it and others cannot. You can have it too, but you've got to change it. You've got to be the one that admit to yourself that it's time for that change. It's time for you to do something about where you are today, right? Another good example is, me being in college now. It's something that I never thought about for the longest time. I'd always wanted to change my life for the better, and I always wanted to do things that was going to change my life and that was going to help me get where I wanted to be. But until I started seeing where I was at that exact moment, none of that was happening. But then once I seen where I was and I accepted it, I didn't like it, but I accepted it. Sorry about that. Somebody's trying to call me and I'm doing a video. But because of that, it changed everything. Then I started going to college because I did what I needed to do to put myself there, right? So if you want happiness in your life, you got to do something about it. And sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board and change things, on how you do things. It doesn't mean change who you are, but you can definitely change what you're doing. There's we all have choices. And so it's up to you to do that, right? But everybody deserves to be happy. Y'all, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Okay? No matter if you've been hooked on drugs or you've been through 3 different marriages and divorces, you've lost your house twice, or you've had 5 different girlfriends and they all hurt you, or you was robbed, or whatever it is, you have full control of that. Right? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about where you are now and think about what you can do to change that. How can you introduce positivity in your life. There's always options for that. And people seem to think that there's not. And it's so easy for us to think that when we're already in a negative state of mind, right? It's easy for us to come up with the excuses of why our life can't be positive, right? It's that simple. That simple. So hopefully you can take, you know, hopefully you can take what I'm saying and you can apply it to your life. The other reason I did this tonight was because we had a viewer that was asking me something similar to this. And so I wanted to turn it into something valuable for all of you to watch. You know, I'm not perfect. I don't live in $1 million home. I don't drive $1 million vehicle or a $40,000 or $50,000 vehicle. I don't wear, you know, a rich person's type of outfit, right? You know, I don't have the best of the best in other people's eyes. But in my eyes, this is all the best of the best to me. You know, I've got a fixer-upper home. But that was progress for me. That was positivity introduced in my life. But I did that. I made that happen. I made it happen. You know, I took a room that was, you know, nothing, right? Just a big open room with nothing but plywood floors, and I turned it into an office. I built an office. To me, that was progress in my life. That was something that I wanted. Everything that I've got now, I'm completely satisfied with. And people ask me, John, how do you stay positive all the time? You always seem to be positive. Honestly, it's the only way to be. Because if I'm negative, then I'm going to lose everything. Right? I'm going to do bad in schooling. I'm going to forget about the important things. I'm going to forget about the bills. I'm going to forget about mainly myself. Because that's what happens. We forget about our own personal needs, the things that we need. And when I say that, everybody's is different. You know, we've got, let's see, who can I use for an example in here tonight? Let's take our viewer Brandy here. We got Brandy. Brandy's got her own personal needs. Brandy's got her own personal goals. But the only way that Brandy, for example, can stay positive is by her taking care of her needs, making sure that she stays positive. Positivity is the key answer, I'm telling you. And people might think, no, there's more to it. Just because you're positive, positivity doesn't make you rich. No, it doesn't, but it will put money in your pocket. I guarantee it. Think about it. Think about this. This is very logical. Think about it. If you start thinking that you're wanting to make more money and then you start becoming positive about the way you're going to go about making money, that's only going to drive you to make that money. Right? When I published my first course that I've done, and I'm working on another one that's on the business side of things, but my first course that I ever did was for goal setting. I had a goal, and I said, when I publish this, I at least want 30 people to get this course. I want to help 30 people. That was just a small goal of mine. Okay? I overshot it. I overshot it because I was staying positive about what I was doing. Because I kept my positivity up high. I kept it going. When we stay positive, everything changes. And I get it. Life is rough. Life sucks sometimes. And sorry, I had something in my But the only way we can get away from that is by us doing something about it. You know, Brandy might have something going on in her life, and no matter what I say or what I do, it won't change it for her unless she does something about it. Or, you know, Tom over here might have something going on in his life, and it's really bad. It's the worst thing ever. And no matter how good of a answer I give him, unless he's the one that changes it, it'll never change. Unless he's the one feeling positive, it'll never change. I could sit here and be positive all day about what I think he can do, but he's got to be the one to do it. So start thinking positive about things. Even if you're going through bad things, you need to find something that's going to make you smile. Something that's going to give you the energy to get away from it or get through it. Right? And trust me, I've had my bad luck. Okay? I've had my bad luck. And the only way I got away from it was because I changed it. And environment. It is so easy to do. But all you got to do is start paying attention and actually try to make it different. Once you start trying, even if you give just a little bit every day, eventually you're going to be out of it and things are going to be looking up for you. But you got to change that. If you don't like who you're around, get away from them. If you don't like where you live, get away from it. If you don't like where you work, get out of it. If you don't like what you drive, get rid of it. If you don't like who you are, change it. Positivity is the key, I'm telling you. That's the best advice that I can give anybody. And some might watch this and tell me that I'm full of it. And that's fine with me. Because tonight, when I lay my head down on the pillow, I'm going to know where I am and how far I've came by being positive. I wouldn't have any of it unless I stayed positive. I wouldn't have my new PC. I wouldn't have my recording microphones. I wouldn't have my new office. I wouldn't have my new truck. I wouldn't have none of it if I was wrong. It's a guarantee with 100% certainty that if you change your motivation and you stay positive, even when it's not positive in your life, it's going to change everything for you. I promise. So, I don't know how many are, looking to make a change or whatever, but I want you to know this. If you're ever going through something, number one, you're not alone. Okay? Number two, the lounge, myself and others, we're always here to offer support. Right? So, maybe everything's perfect in your life. And if it is, then that's great. But if not, I want you to apply these things in your life and try it, because I know later on you're going to come back and you're going to say, John, you was right. Like Brandy said, she tries hard, even though it can be hard at times. And you're so correct. Brandy she's hit it right on the head. It is hard to stay positive when it gets really rough. But it's the feeling of beating that moment, of tackling that moment and getting through it, being positive. There's no better feeling. And sometimes it might take just simple things. Maybe you got a little kid, a little boy, a little girl, maybe you got a beautiful little puppy that you love and adore so much, And just maybe you're going through something. It could only take you thinking about that little puppy, about funny things that dog's done, or thinking about your little kid, the time you've been out and your kid did something really silly. It's all about finding something that will make you laugh, that will make you smile. Right? Um, Let me introduce something to you. And it might not be, something that interests you. And if not, that's fine. But I did a podcast earlier. And because there was a couple people that wanted to go through a course that I did and they couldn't figure it out. But maybe you need to, introduce some new goals in your life. Or maybe you had goals in your life that you forgot about. I want you to go listen to that podcast because I talk about how you can go to that course and sign up and all that. Um, it's been helpful to others. So if you are going through something, check out that course. See what it does for you. Okay? See what it does for you. I'm thinking about for the next 7 days, not exactly today, but I'm thinking about running a thing for 7 days to where I run it for free for 7 days. And let people get in there that's scared to put out that $20, right? I'm thinking about just putting it out there for free for 7 days and letting somebody or a group of people, whoever wants, can go and take it because I guarantee you they're going to come back and they're going to be telling those that didn't do it, they're going to be telling them, you should have done it. Um, I don't have the answers for everything. So I'm not sitting here acting like I'm better than anybody else. But I know where I started at, you guys. I know where I was 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, I always kept a smile on my face, but I still had all these doubts. But as soon as I changed the way that I looked at things, as soon as I started staying positive no matter what, it changed everything. Absolutely everything in my life. Everything. And I believe it can do the same for you. Let's see here. Justin Freeman. Hello, Justin. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Brandy, thank you for showing your support in here tonight. Whether you guys came just for the support or you came for the information or the inspiration, whatever it might be. I want to thank you guys for coming in and listening and watching. I really appreciate it. Um, I wish I had enough power, right, to where when I did one of these, that it got in front of 100 people or 500 people, because they would be thinking, "Daggone, why didn't I go and listen to this guy before?" I'm just all about helping others. That's that's my main goal. That's my ultimate goal. Um, and if you guys not had a chance yet, I did want to remind you, go check out the Garage Talk, um, the vlog I did, Garage Talk, because I talk about the mugs and all that stuff. Important information for you. Okay. But think about what I said, no matter who you are. Think about it. Okay. Um, there is a 800 number if you do go over to get the course and you need help with it or even signing up to it. There's an 800 number you can call. It's 1-800-610-1714. You can call that number and somebody will assist you. Okay. Uh, like I said, then that's something new for me. The course has only been out maybe a couple months. Um, but it's a way for me to help people. So, And I'm not sure where our normal loungers are tonight. Usually we got people rolling in, but um, for what it's worth, I'm glad you guys are here, right? That makes me happy. Um, if life's rough, number one, you're not alone. But number two, can I be honest with you for a minute? Okay? This is constructive criticism that I'm about to give you. If your life is just a complete mess right now, it will never change unless you notice it and take action. You've got to believe in who you are, okay? I don't even know you, and I believe in you. If I can believe in you, I know you can believe in you. I believe that you're a smart person and that you're beautiful and special, important. So change it. Take my word for it. I'm begging you to take my word for it and try the positivity thing. In the past, I talked about things you could do. You could take for the next 2 weeks straight, and every morning you get up, start telling yourself, whether you talk out loud or whisper or look in a mirror, but start giving yourself motivation as soon as you open your eyes in the morning. Tell yourself that you're going to have a good day, that you are beautiful, that you are smart, that things are going to be okay, and that you will figure it out. Do that every day for a couple weeks. Guarantee you to make a difference in your life. See, the problem is people are hearing me say this, but they're not trying it. They're not doing it because they don't have enough hope. Right? The only thing that's stopping you from being motivated and believing is hope. So how much hope do you have? Do you have enough hope in what I'm telling you? And mainly, do you have enough hope within yourself to change it? I believe you do. Thank you, Brandy. I'm really, one person can say that to me and it means the world. It touches right here. I'm no professional. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a doctor. But I've lived it. I've lived it. I've been through it. I know what it's like. The only difference between me and you is I'm doing something about it. But let me ask you a question. What are you doing about it? Ask yourself, what are you really doing to change it? Are you taking action? Are you just agreeing? Or are you just saying, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll start that tomorrow. Don't make yourself a promise you can't keep. That's only adding more negativity in your life. Because as you know, anything that any kind of stress, it all builds up. And at some point or another in your life, there will be a day when that all comes out. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to have a nervous breakdown because you didn't have enough hope? Because you was scared? I don't want you to be that person. I want you to grab this negativity. I want you to grab it up. I want you to wad it up like a piece of paper, and I want you to throw it out. Because I'm telling you, for everything that I am and everything that I got, when you do that, your life will change. I guarantee it. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for next year. And stop every year Here's something that I've noticed that we all do. I do it, and I'm still working on not doing it anymore. I always get excited on New Year's Day. And one of them reasons is because everybody else is. Another reason is oh, it's New Year's. Now I can do another New Year's resolution of what I'm going to start doing. Why should we wait for New Year's to change our life? To add a new goal? What if we did that every day? What if we treated New Year's, only reverse it, and treat every day like New Year's? Think about how much you might have done. If you're serious about the things that you throw out on New Year's, as far as what you're going to start doing or what you're not going to do or what you're going to reach, if you're serious about it, and you actually did that every day in your regular life or every week, you wouldn't be here right now listening to this because you wouldn't need to know. Because you would be on track. I don't even do that. I mean, I set goals. So let's do it together. Let's start treating our goals like New Year's. Every time we create a goal, let's treat it like it's New Year's. And let's get motivated and inspired. I believe that you can be successful. I believe in every one of you. And I'm just like you. You know, I'm no one special. I'm just another guy on the block trying to do what I can to help others and at the same time help myself. And Brandy, thank you for everything you say. It means the world to me. And I do believe I'm looking at the camera. It means the world to me. What you say means a lot to me. It really does. You do. All of you do. So do me a favor. You guys try it out. See how it works out for you. And if you call that number and you need a little support, call that number and press the extension 809. You call the 800 number, put in 809. I'll be there to listen. That line is open anytime you need it. So if you ever need someone to talk to, someone to maybe give you a little bit of mentorship, to be your mentor, 1-800-610-1714. Call it, extension 809, and I'll be there to listen. I hope that this was good for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If it does good for you, then I've accomplished something. I believe in all of you. You can also check out that course. It's at 2asw.com/courses. Now, the business one is something you probably won't be interested in, but the first one's for goal setting. You can check that out. You could even apply that in your life. That's going to help you. And I got some other stuff coming up, all right? I love every one of you guys. I really do. Do me a favor, give us a thumbs up. Share this on Twitter, Facebook, other friends on YouTube, other hangouts, whatever. Still trying to reach. We can't even get away from 903, 904. We're stuck. But that's all right. I still love you guys.